All right, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I give all praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High and His only begotten Son. Call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Radash. All right, double honors unto the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, Root and Teach Well, Wabarakathum, and to the hopeful elect. All right, today through the Spirit, I want to go into a quick lesson I just made entitled War, right? And we see the conflicts happening over in the Middle East, right? America's getting ready to plot for an attack on Iran, which they've already done attacks. You see, they use their technology, that Palantir, you see, to attack people, man. And what America's ultimately doing is it's trying to get every nation to ultimately just give all their resources and make them be on top again. But as we see, America's in debt to a lot of these nations because it defrauded a lot of the nations. You know, it didn't abide by the covenants that they made. For example, you have the Russia-Ukraine situation. That's supposed to belong to Russia. You see? But America is trying to take other people's stuff and be a tyrant over the earth, man. And that's why a lot of these nations are angry, because they're realizing that they've been defrauded. And they're also realizing that, you know, they're ultimately seeing the vision that it's all about this digital currency. Who's going to be the #1 person to have digital currency? You see? Which the ultimate goal of it is to have it where they put the device inside your hand or your forehead, to where they have full complete control over your finances, where you are, you see, so on and so forth. That's what the ultimate end goal of it is, but it's a fight for who's going to be the first person to do that, right? But we see the prophecies being fulfilled of the nation shall hate the whore, man. Jeremiah 50, that's what, Jeremiah 51. Nations being angry, hating the whore, right? And then you read Revelations 18. You see around the bottom verses where it describes how the horns, which the horns is like the European Union or the European Common Market. You know, just like the Roman Empire back then, ancient Rome had vassal states into it. America had all these vassal states into its empire, right? And they basically helped to get the economy up, you see, so on and so forth, right? But we're starting to see a lot of these nations despise America or despise Babylon the Great, you see, which is all prophecy, because we know that we're in a time period of a war happening, you see. World War III, and that's all biblical prophecy. You read Revelation, Revelation 12, and I believe it's verse not 13. I believe it's verse can't get the exact coordinates. I know it's in Revelation 12, but it describes how the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, right? And what John the Revelator was seeing was a revelation of what will happen in the latter times. That's why you see this war everywhere. Taiwan and China, you have Russia and Ukraine, you have the war going on in Gaza, and now you got America wanting to go attack Iran. This is all prophecy. And guess what? Guess who brought America into this war? You look into the Middle East, over there in that area, guess what? The little hats. I'm going to say little hats because they'll flag the video. But the little hats brought America into this war. And now you got these different nations, they ready to fight. Let the weak say I am strong, because they now have military capabilities. Like Israel is being funded by America to have all this military might, and then you have places like you have the other smaller nations. They're getting funded, like Iran and these other guys getting funded by Russia. You see, getting all types of military and weaponry from there. So now they thinking that they talking noise. They're like, yeah, we got ICBM nuclear missiles too. And the whole point of what Trump is trying to do is he's trying to weaken the rest of the nations, right? And that's what the scriptures say Esau would do. Him that thou didst weaken the nations. You see the scriptures call Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, the hammer of the earth. So it will have a time period where they will have complete control and have everybody scared of them. You see, to the point where these nations they're afraid of America because of the military that they have. You see, and it also speaks about how thou didst weaken the nations. I believe that's Isaiah 14. You see, so we're seeing this tyrant that was ruling over the planet Earth being exposed for all the defrauding he's done to the other nations. Now they want to fight. They want war. And they have military capabilities which they've gotten sold to them. So they gave away their blessing, which made them be above all these nations. They gave it away. Now all these nations have ICBMs. They have all this technology, and they're not scared to go to war now. They're like, yeah, we ready to fight. We ready to shoot some missiles. We ready to we have a good navy. So right? And it's not gonna ease up. They can do all this talk of, oh, it's gonna be a peace treaties and all this and that. It's not gonna be peace, man. Enough, so much has been done to the point where it's no going back. You see? That's why you have all these channels that are talking about, oh man, the war is coming. You gotta gather all your stuff. They're basically boom preppers, because they understand that it's not gonna get better. It's not gonna be no more peace. You see this fire that's been kindled, and the planet Earth is a spiritual thing. You know, the Lord is fulfilling this. That's why you read in Revelation 18. I believe that's Revelation 17, where it said the Lord, I put it in their hearts to fulfill his will. So a lot of these nations were in agreement with Babylon the Great America for that particular amount of time, for them to be in rulership. But now we're seeing these nations, they're coming against America. They're like, nah, they're angry because they've been defrauded. You see? And they felt the sting of Esau's fornication. He lied. And then they took up the ways, right? And what have these ways done? Nothing but bring terrible and evil to the world, the state of the world. Everything's all polluted. The air is all jacked up. You know, something like they even saying the ozone layer is jacked up, starting to be jacked up because of the pollution. The water's all messed up. You see? Animals are quote unquote, which there's no such thing as being extinct. The Lord controls all the spirits. But they're quote unquote depopping certain things, certain animals or creatures. It's not as many as them as they used to be on the planet Earth. You see, and why is that? Because this wicked devil is ruling. And a lot of these nations, they fed into him ruling, thinking that, oh, him ruling is going to be a good thing, right? And it's done nothing but destroy everything on the planet Earth. You see? So what we're seeing now is a lot of these nations are like, F this, man, we tired of y'all. And they coming against America, right? And it's not going to get any better. That's why you keep seeing constant news articles going into all this stuff, man. Because hey, it's time for fighting. It's time for war. They've had enough. You know, these nations have had enough of America's bullshit. You see, they tired of this shit, right? These nations are very tired, right? And we're gonna see a lot of them revolt. You see, because they tired of America, right? So that's why there's so much war and all this evil happening. You see? Because this is all prophecy. You see? So that's the point I wanted to go into in this quick video. And it's not going to get better, right? People be thinking, oh, yeah, it's going to dwindle down. It's going to go back to normal. This is the new normal. You see? Because there's so much evils that's been done on the earth. And a lot of these nations are tired of it, man. All right? So that's the point I wanted to go into. War. Woe is happening, man. It's not going to get better. Okay? So then you being an understanding of seeing what's going on. What does the scripture say? Proverbs 22:3, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, man. You see, so you got to see these evils and see the wickedness that's going on and see the Lord's judgment and then hide yourself. You know, you come into this understanding, this truth, right? Because the Lord said, my servant shall eat. My servant shall be merry and have abundance. So those that serve the Lord, they'll be protected from this destruction, all this evil. You see? Because all these judgments the Lord is bringing is going to be unto those that are outside of the truth, outside of that spiritual arc, right? That are not of the understanding, are not in the truth. The true believers of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai. That's what's going to be getting caught up in this war, getting drafted into it. You see? They're going to be, because like as war happens, a lot of the resources are being used to fund it. You see, and they're spending all the money. Really, they're trying to crash the economy purposely to bring out this Revelation 13 and 16, the MOTB. All right. So as this happens, these people are going to get affected very greatly. But if you're outside of this truth, you have no protection or hedges from it. So you got to stay fighting for that spot, staying of Yahweh Shai's temple, staying in his spiritual arc. All right. But anyways, Lord willing, this lesson edified. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Radash, double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, root and teach well. So next time, come my Shalom.